Hello, everyone, and welcome to United Way. Live United. I'm Derry Westerfield, and joining me today, I have guest in from St. Bernard Parish, and we're here to update you on what's going on in the parish, especially around a very exciting event. I want to welcome to the program Elizabeth Ellison Frost, who is the Public and Governmental Affairs Advisor. How are you today, Elizabeth?
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Now, you are with Chalmette Refining ExxonMobil, that's correct?
Correct.
And you've got a big job, and that's a big employer down in St. Bernard Parish.
Oh, yes. We have about a little bit between 400 and 500 employees.
And so that is we thank you because you're such a big supporter of United Way. And today with you came Taryn Rogers. Taryn is a community relations specialist with Valero, and that is with Enmiro and also St. Charles Parish, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And another big employer for the parish.
Yes, we are.
And also a big United Way supporter.
We are. We are very supportive of United Way, and we keep them close to our hearts.
Well, I thank you. And Gary likes to hear that. Gary Hittman's with us today. Gary is the director of St. Bernard Parish for United Way of Southeast Louisiana. I want to welcome you all to the program. For those of you who are joining us today, United Way of Southeast Louisiana works to strengthen children and youth, the elderly, families, and individuals from all walks of life in St. Bernard, Jefferson, Orleans, Plaquemine, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, and Washington parishes. Now, we work in partnership with government, with nonprofit and civic organizations, and our big businesses to tackle pressing issues and promote a better quality of life for all. Now, the annual workplace campaign is in full swing and is United Way's primary source of funding. But here in Southeast Louisiana, we all know we like to eat good food, we like to pass a good time, and so we like to mix a little fun in our fundraising with special events. And we have a major one coming up soon, and that is the Jambalaya Cook-Off. It's part of the Calling It Home Festival on Saturday, November 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So let's talk about it, folks. It's the, Battle for the Paddle?
Battle for the Paddle.
Battle for the Paddle,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Come one, come all to the Battle for the Paddle, our Jambalaya Cook-Off. It's our second annual. It's going to be held at Dockville Farm in the Oak Grove in St. Bernard Parish. That's East St. Bernard Highway. Tickets are now on sale. $10 pay one price, includes festival admission, dancing, live entertainment, crafts, and from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 2nd. That's Saturday, November 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. All you can eat jambalaya, and we will have a contest to decide who cooks the best jambalaya in St. Bernard Parish.
Now, we've got our friends in here. We have Elizabeth. We also have Taryn. And I think perhaps, are you ladies ringers? Do you have companies that continually put out some of the best jambalaya ever?
I hope so. We actually, last year at the first annual event, our team got People's Choice. So we thought that was even better than first place.
A little friendly rivalry here.
And our team got first place.
Oh, gee, I wonder how that worked out. But it is kind of fun. As you said early in the program, you are supporters of United Way, but you're big supporters of St. Bernard Parish and the community and all the people that live there. And is this why companies like Valero and ExxonMobil get involved?
Yes. I mean, St. Bernard Parish is where our people live, work, play, shop, and we want to give back to the community. We want to be a good corporate citizen, and United Way is a good way to do that.
And I know that, as we talked about, you're a major employer, so you have a major influence of what goes on in the parish and wanting to provide that good quality of life.
Right. You know, we've been rebuilding since Hurricane Katrina, and we've been there since 1915. We're going to have our 100th anniversary in a couple years, so we're here for the long haul.
Oh, that's amazing. A centennial coming up. Wow, that may be one of the oldest around.
Right. Actually, we're not the oldest, but we're right there in the old category, I guess, in the ancient category. But, you know, we are also celebrating the 200th anniversary of the Battle of 1812 that same year, so it's going to be big doings in St. Bernard Parish.
And Taryn, likewise, Valero is such a big employer and also has a rich history here.
Yes, we do. Our St. Charles refinery has been here for about 10 years, but we recently purchased a Miro refinery a couple of years ago. We have about 250 employees there, and we are very involved in the St. Bernard community as well. In fact, during our local campaign, our employees just raised $205,000 for
Wow.
United Way, and our
That is
company's going to
amazing.
match 50 cents on the dollar. So we're really, really excited about that, and very proud of our employees.
I say that is absolutely wonderful when the employees step up, when the organization, the business is matching that. That's truly amazing, because I know there are a lot of issues surrounding St. Bernard, and again, we talk about the quality of life, wanting to make it a better place for everybody to live, work, and raise their families. And Gary, maybe we should take this opportunity for just a moment to talk about some of the programs that are in St. Bernard Parish. And Taryn and Elizabeth, if you have firsthand knowledge or involved with any of them as well, please weigh in, because I know that there are a lot of good work being done.
Yeah, we host a leadership council of all of the leaders of the community who help run campaigns and who not only help run campaigns but fund our programs. We also have what's called St. Bernard Community Resources, so we work very closely with agencies delivering goods and services to the field in St. Bernard Parish. Very often, you don't see United Way trucks running back and forth because we work through our agencies, but we respond to house fires. We help sign up special needs evacuees, and we work very closely with our Department of Homeland Security, Emergency Preparedness. We have been continuing rebuilding assistance for both Katrina and for Hurricane Isaac, which hit the radar as a small storm, but it's had a lasting impact. Unfortunately, we are assisting soon with holiday item collection and distribution. We're continuously offering counseling and case management services. We address domestic violence, and we support a center for youth and adults with mental and physical challenges. In addition, we supply indigent health and dental services, and we make referrals for children and adults dealing with serious illnesses. And you can access all of our services by simply calling 211. That's 211.
And that's the 24/7 emergency referral line that is always available, and thanks to our partnership with ViaLink and all the good folks there. Some of the programs, and they are near and dear to my heart, and I have to give a shout out to all of them, but in particular, I know that I'm always amazed by the work that is taking place around domestic violence, and with our friends at the St. Bernard Battered Women's Shelter. They do an amazing job, and the women and children that have gone there and get to turn their lives around. It's truly, truly an amazing thing. Not only are they getting away from an abusive situation, but now they are taught maybe the skills that they did not have before, so they can become independent and self-sufficient, which is right there in the United Way mission. And I know that the ladies there are doing all they can to help each other.
Yes, and our good friends at Valero and Chalmette Refining ExxonMobil pitched in when we needed help for our Day of Caring, and specifically provided services, painting and repair services to the facility for the Battered Women's Program.
Well, ladies, please tell me, because I had no idea, really. This is... So we're all kind of on the same page, it sounds like.
Yes, the St. Bernard Women's Program is really near and dear to our heart. We had people painting the apartments that the ladies use when they come in. We've also gathered school supplies for the kids. Last year we did it, and it was such a great success. We did it again this year, and they use them throughout the year because you never know how many kids are going to be at the facility at one time or another. We're also in the midst of trying to collect toys for them as well, and we have a Thanksgiving drive as well that we're going to give to the St. Bernard Community Center. So we're in a flurry of activity as everyone else is in the fall as well.
And Taryn, I know that you're busy too.
Yes, we are. We did participate in the battered women's shelter. We did painting of furniture and of walls inside the shelter itself. Unfortunately, I couldn't participate because I was out on leave, but the volunteers said they had a great time and it was for a great cause, so they did a good job with that. We also have several other volunteer events coming with the holidays coming up. We're major sponsors of Santa on the Bayou in St. Bernard Parish, so we'll have probably anywhere from 30 to 50 volunteers out there participating in that, as well as lots of other holiday activities during this time of the year. Our employees are just so excited about all the things we have coming up.
I'm going to tell you, there are so many things. We will come back because I want to hear more about Santa on the Bayou and some of the others, but I can almost smell that jambalaya. Can't you? Can't you? I think it's going to be a wonderful battle for the paddle. And here we have the People's Choice and the first place. Ladies, I think the teams are going to be well prepared. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. One thing that I think you have new this year, don't you have a seafood category or something that's a little bit different, a little spin?
Yeah, special for St. Bernard Parish because of public input from the Chamber and others. We are not restricting ingredients. So many people who wanted to have a team told us right up front, hey, I put shrimp in my jambalaya recipe, so no shrimp, we cannot participate. So we open the doors, and we're allowing seafood in all of the recipes that are being brought in, and we will definitely label those that have seafood and those that don't, just to be in an abundance of caution for people who may want to avoid seafood.
Well, I tell you what, when you live in a parish like St. Bernard with all this abundance of fabulous seafood, I can't imagine how you wouldn't have a shrimp here or there or something else into your jambalaya. That's what it makes it uniquely St. Bernard.
Our culture is completely dominated and revolves around the fishing community. So we didn't want to have rules that would exclude them. So they're all welcome, and we look forward to them participating.
But Gary, and please, everybody weigh in. Elizabeth, Taryn, this is so much fun, the jambalaya battle for the paddle. But it's part of a larger celebration, isn't it? It's part of the Calling It Home Festival, and I guess that is celebrating all the culture in St. Bernard.
Yes, and the Calling It Home Festival, we have the opportunity to work with the Miro Foundation and the Southern Food and Beverage Institute to make this a very successful event. The Calling It Home Festival begins at 11 on Saturday, November 2nd. That's Saturday, November 2. Gates open at 10 a.m. Saturday, November 2nd. And their festival lasts into Sunday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. However, the Battle for the Paddle, the Jambalaya Cook-Off, is their kickoff event, and we consider it the crown jewel of the Calling It Home Festival.
All right, I think it's the diamond in the tiara. How about that?
I love it.
But it is. It's a cook-off for the kickoff, or is that a kickoff for the cook-off?
Yes. A kickoff for the cook-off.
Either way. But it is. It's lovely because you'll also have music out there, and people are welcome to come. There's so many different things to see, to do, to experience, and you can purchase your tickets right now.
Correct.
Yes.
You can purchase your tickets at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the two locations on Judge Perez in St. Bernard Parish, at the Arc Chalmette Community Center, the Family Service Center of St. Bernard, Todd's Technology, and Atmos Energy, and also at the Community Center of St. Bernard. So lots of places, so go out and buy your tickets early and buy a lot.
And the price is reasonable, too. I mean, it's going to be a great day of family fun.
$10 all you can eat, and 12 and under eat free. So please come, and you get to stay for the other events that are happening after the 2 p.m. when all the jambalaya is gone, we hope. So there's going to be a lot of bands, a lot of fun stuff going on, crafts. So I think it'll be a fun day, and Sunday will also be fun as well.
Now, Taryn, do you plan to be out there and put your dancing shoes on after you've eaten all the jambalaya you possibly can?
I sure do, and I'm also hoping for great weather.
Yes.
So you can count on me for that. There's going to be great weather.
All right.
I can promise you that.
You've heard it here. Taryn Rogers says.
You've heard it here first.
But you both, come on, you've got to share just a little something about maybe something that might be going into your famous jambalaya that when you first place or people's choice. Come on.
Well, we're actually fielding 2 teams this year.
Ooh.
So our teams are even having a rivalry among each other. We just had our internal employee cook-off this past Friday where we had 18 teams in our plant vie for first, second, and third place.
Now, this is at Chalmette Refining, right?
At Chalmette Refining. So we had teams, and they dressed to the nines, and they had a lot of fun. You know, it is almost Halloween, right? And we made almost $3,000. We sold the plate lunches to our employees. All that money goes to the United Way.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a bunch of trash talk, of course, you know, in the plant. And now those people are going to go and beat Valero this year.
Well, our local competition is coming up on Thursday, actually. So we have some teams that are going to be participating in that. And, you know, the trash talk has already started, friendly camaraderie competition going on. So our employees are really excited about that. And we're going to be sending our first place, second place, and People's Choice to the competition this year.
So this is great. You have your in-house early, and it's literally to get a taste of who's best.
That's right.
Right. It also builds momentum for our United Way campaign for our employees. We're in the middle of our 4th and final week of the campaign, and right now we're at 97% of goal. And so we're very, very excited that by Friday we're going to get to our goal of $120,000. And then also ExxonMobil Corporation puts in $100,000 in addition to that. So hopefully we'll get beyond 120, but I'm seeing 120 by Friday. Very, very.
That is
I
excellent
say this is a big hand
Thank you.
I listened to what Taryn said about, you know, what's happening with folks at Valero, now what you're saying at Chalmette Refining. Folks, those of you who listen to us on Sunday, you have to understand that you are integral to everything we do. And when you're an individual or corporation like this who steps up and supports United Way, this is how we are able to support all those different programs out there, from the tiniest little babies to our seniors and everyone in between that avail them of these services. Everybody, I think, sometimes believes, oh, I'm helping someone else. That could never be me. I think you would be very surprised to find out about neighbors or family members or friends or the guy who lives down the street that have used services that have been help funded by United Way, because they're not all emergency services. Some are simple as helping. You know, the programs have been around forever. Boy Scouts, things like that. The Red Cross, we think of the Red Cross in emergencies, but they're also there. Swimming lessons. You've got the Y. You've got all these different programs, and they're for everybody to enjoy. And also when the need arises for that kind of safety net, United Way is there. And we are there because of companies like Valero and Chalmette Refining who get together and they show this kind of support internally and externally. So thank you so very much. Thank you. It's just, Gary, you got to be proud to work down in the parish.
Absolutely, and Valero's on target to meet their goals as well. So we can't say enough about both of you. So you both do a great job for United Way. And I wanted to at least mention and highlight that Chalmette Refining, ExxonMobil, Valero Miro Refinery, and Rain Carbon CII are our 3 major sponsors of the Jambalaya Cook-Off. So I wanted to be certain to mention them, and thank you very much.
Now, how many do you expect? How many did you have last year when it was your initial cook-off?
Well, we expect to have 16 teams this year.
Wow.
Which is great, and we may be able to add an extra. We have space for an extra 2 teams, which would be a total of 18. So we've been very successful at getting participation in the event itself.
And I think about that much. What are we talking about in terms of the huge pots, the big? I've been to these before, and it's mammoth. I don't think I'd seen a pot that big before. It looked more like a huge industrial drum of some sort. So how many? I mean, the pounds. That's a lot of rice. That's a lot of seafood or meat or everything in between, and tomatoes. And that's something else. Not everybody makes the jambalaya the same way. I have actually seen and tasted what they call brown jambalaya. So they're a little bit different, a little more of kind of a red gravy, but a gravy base to it.
And it's also you're cooking for 100 people instead of just your family. So that's always a dynamic that's fun to see, where they're cooking in this big pot. They say, "Oh, I can cook this at home." So, but when you transfer it to a big pot for 100 people, it's a much
not so
different.
easy.
Yes, it's not so easy. It's much different.
No, it's a lot of work, and we'll have our teams out there as early as 6:30 in the morning, setting up, and it does take a lot of effort on their part. That's why we're so appreciative of getting so many teams to participate.
Now, how do you cook to keep? I mean, are you building, or you're bringing kind of portable gas stoves, or I'm trying to figure out how you're going to get all that food cooked, or some of it kind of pre-cooked and brought out?
No, it's not pre-cooked. It's all cooked on the day of the
fresh
event.
Right there. Wow.
So you have to be an extremely good cook and keep to your time, I think, is the most.
So that's part of the rules. There are some rules everybody has to follow.
Well, no, I mean more like knowing how long to boil it and in large quantities, that kind of thing. And I don't think I could do it. I'm not part of the team, so I think that they are pretty much geniuses at cooking for all those people and making it all taste good and the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because you've got to have that, what you said at home, a small pot for 3 or 4 people, maybe 6, or a little leftovers is a whole lot different than when you've, made it for 100. Folks, I still always remember as a kid being amazed when you would go into the grocery store, and usually I was always familiar with, just a little box or just a little bag. And then one time, the old Schwegmans that used to be around walked down an aisle once and just mesmerized. They had 100-pound-plus bags of rice. And I thought, who could ever cook with that much rice at one time? Well, guess what? Now we know. But tell me some more about some of the other projects that are going down in St. Bernard Parish, because I know that, Taryn, you mentioned a little bit earlier about Santa on the Bayou, and I don't want to take anything away from the Battle for the Paddle, but I know that you're also involved in things too, Elizabeth, and that are coming up. And as we start to roll into this holiday season, it's hard to believe, wow, it's almost November.
Right, and one of the events that we are preparing for is we are gathering food for Thanksgiving for the St. Bernard Community Center. So we're gathering non-perishable items, canned goods, rice, things like that they can use for their holiday meals. So we're in the full swing of that right now, and we're also going to help with Santa on the Bayou, and we're also doing a toy drive for the Salvation Army. They usually have a Christmas party, and we usually have Santa and Mrs. Claus and the Grinch. I dress up as the Grinch. So that's my favorite thing. So that's a lot of fun. And there's also going to be a new Christmas event starting, I think it's on the 14th of December at Dockville Farm. And they're going to have a Christmas celebration there as well, so that we'll get involved in that as well.
And Taryn?
Coming up next week, actually, we have our children's charity luncheon. Valero every year has a Texas Open golf tournament in San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
And from there, and it raised $10 million this year.
Ooh.
From there, each of our refineries gets some money, and the money has to be donated to children's charities in our state. So Valero Miro has $200,000 to give away to children's charities in our area, and a lot of them are right here in St. Bernard Parish. So that luncheon where we give the checks away will be next week. So we're really excited about that. That's the biggest thing we have going on right now.
I say it's all amazing. The philanthropy that takes place, and again, can't say it enough. We could not do it as United Way, nor could, I think, most of our parishes survive without the generosity of companies like Valero and the Chalmette Refinery, ExxonMobil. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. And I have to ask you, Gary, too. We're talking about all the things that are coming up in St. Bernard Parish. We mentioned that over at the Chalmette Refinery, ExxonMobil, they're almost done with their campaign. How are the campaigns going overall? Are everybody kind of started or midway?
Yes, campaigns are doing very well. It's always very rewarding for us when we have our kickoff breakfast and thank you breakfast, which we had last week. All of our companies have started with their campaigns. We expect all of them are going to meet their goals this year. So we're very pleased with the support that we get from our St. Bernard community and from our St. Bernard companies.
And I want to mention again, because Valero's the sponsor, we also have Chalmette Refinery, ExxonMobil, but it's also Carbon.
Rain CII
Rain
Carbon.
CII Carbon.
Yes.
And we cannot thank them enough as well.
Right. They're a big player, and they do well for us.
All right, now one question I have to ask. For those of us who are not as familiar as we should be with St. Bernard Parish, we talk about Dockville Farm, the Oak Grove. I've heard it's beautiful. Gary's told me all about it. But one more time, how do you get there for everybody who's listening?
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you did ask that. If you stay off the interstate, you would come from Canal Street, which is a point that everyone's familiar with.
Okay.
You'd go down North Rampart Street, which becomes St. Claude, which becomes St. Bernard Highway. And no turns or anything. You just go straight down about 5 miles, and to your right, you'll see Dockville Farm. It's a very nice facility. You'll see the painted barns and everything else, and you'll see all the festivities going on. Otherwise, you would take the interstate to our Interstate 510 spur, which is the Parish Road Chalmette exit, and you would take that going south. And when you reach St. Bernard Highway from Parish Road, which is the second major thoroughfare you cross, you would turn left and go directly to Dockville Farm, which will once again be on your right.
Well, I tell you what, for those of you who didn't have that pen and pencil ready to write everything down, it's also such a well-known spot in St. Bernard Parish that I'm sure if you stopped just about anywhere, because that's kind of how I do directions. I print them off of the computer. I think I know where I'm going, and the first time I see a gas station with some of your products in it, ladies, I'll stop and say, Lise, where is this? Help me get there, because I don't think my compass is always working. But it will be a wonderful, fun-filled day. Taryn's already said she's bringing the good weather. So, Elizabeth, it's up to you. How are you going to top good weather?
Well, I would ask that not everybody has a campaign at their place of work. So this would be a good way for you to give back. It's just $10. So you individually could give $10 and really make a difference in the lives of people in St. Bernard Parish. And you have to remember that these are going to agencies that are located just in St. Bernard Parish, which are the ARC St. Bernard, Community Center of St. Bernard, Family Services of St. Bernard, and the St. Bernard Battered Women's Program. And they're all great, great, great programs that we have worked with in the past. And so just come out, spend $10, and have a good time.
And bring your appetite.
Definitely bring your appetite.
And Taryn, anything else, too, on behalf of Valero?
We just want to say that we are honored to be a part of such a great event, and we're excited to be a part of it this year, and we're hoping to be a part of it in years to come.
And Gary, round it out for us.
We're looking forward to a great day, great food, great fun, great attendance. Just remember, Saturday, November 2nd at 11 a.m., the Battle for the Paddle Jambalaya Cook-Off at Dockville Farm.
Now, if people want more information, is there a website? Is there a number? And quickly, where they might be able to purchase tickets?
Yes, they can go to www, of course, United Way Seala, all one word. That's UNITEDWAY, S as in Sam, ELA.org/jambalaya.
Can't make it more simple than that. And also, don't forget to visit our website, unitedwayseala.org. If you would like information about any of the partner programs we have, if you would like to learn how to run your own workplace campaign, perhaps make an individual donation, or just need some assistance. And also, let's say one more time, 211. Don't forget that 24/7 emergency referral number. Everyone's emergency is different, but they are always there for you. On behalf of United Way, I want to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Elizabeth Ellison Frost, who is a public affairs and government advisor for Chalmette Refining ExxonMobil. Taryn Rogers, who is a community relations specialist for Valero Miro and St. Charles. Gary Hittman, our director in St. Bernard Parish for United Way of Southeast Louisiana. I'm Terry Westerfield. And say it with me, folks, live
United.